Welcome everyone to another Pixelated review. I'm your host, Pixelated Jordan. So what we have here is a science adventure, or sci-fi. I don't know why I said science adventure. I mean, science is involved, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about sci-fi, space exploration, and exploration. Man, if I learned how to English, this would be great. Anyway, this is the Clockwork Chimera series by Scott Barron. And this is Daisy, as you can clearly see in front. When I saw this at first, I sat there going, man, this reminds me of Samus, Master Chief, all the cool armored dudes and gals all around from sci-fi. And I looked at it, I was like, you know what? This seems like something that would be pretty cool. I'm down. She looks like she's having a great time. Look at that. She looks cool in that. So, I was very curious, and this story is definitely sci-fi focused, and it definitely has its weird sci-fi gimmicks. So, without that, not inventory, gosh, look at me, man. I forget how to English every day. Anyway, without further ado, let's start this review. Book 1, Daisy's Run. So, to say the first book started out really good and outstanding and amazing, like it did so much right, I'd be lying to you. Because the first book is bizarre, confusing, and everything is just thrown at you and not at the same time. Let me explain. So we start off in the ship, and the ship ended up getting a crash, like a rock hit it in like a weird pocket where the shield was supposed to defend itself, and it did not. And they had to wake everyone up, say, hey, there's a dent here, let's wake up. So as far as we know, they're going back to Earth. They're gonna do some stuff and doohickeys there, and just that's about it. There's some points, like it's good. We're kind of understanding the character's motivation here and there. There's a cyborg plot kind of going up, and that was kind of there. And then all of a sudden, this main side character, Sarah, she gets tossed out the windows, like quickly. Like, my God, quickly. And this kind of builds on Daisy's mind going, this has to be the cyborgs. Everyone's a cyborg but me. And she does find out, like, everyone's kind of cybernetic in some way except for her and actually Sarah as well, the one who died. So she starts going nuts and trying to basically sabotage the whole ship. And then she gets to Earth by herself, and Earth is already in ruined. Like, holy crap, what the heck happened? So we weren't going to Earth because of, for something, I can't remember the top of my head now. And then there was a cyborg plot that the AIs are taking over, and then she left, and Earth is basically destroyed. Like, there's no humans on there, but there's a lot of funny robots, though. I'll admit that, there's a lot of funny robots. Also, there's aliens there, and they reminded me a lot of the Fallen from Destiny. That's kind of the vibe I got from them. Just the forearm stuff. But yeah, that whole thing kind of just threw left and right, and then they throw out at the end where everything's kind of explained, saying, oh yeah, no, this is what life is. We came here to fight, and these robots are here because of an AI virus, and stuff like that. Well, not the robots aren't there because of the AI virus. AI virus took over, and yeah, it was a mess. But yeah, this weird story was so boring at first because it just dragged, and then they got some interesting parts, but then it just threw out so many things at once that I did not know where to begin. So, and I forgot most of what happened. Yeah, so not the best start, I would say. So, I guess we can rate this book then. For Daisy's Run, I give it a rating of forgettable. Book 2, Pushing Daisy. The book starts out with, pushing Daisy. I mean, it's a little on the nose, but it makes sense though. Like, they're pushing Daisy to her utmost limit. She's called a Clockwork Chimera because she's like the answer for this whole AI virus kind of thing going on. And I did like some of the things they did here. They had AI viruses going on and these advanced AIs, intelligence, which were really cool. I really liked it a lot. Like, stuff like that actually was cool. I guess the only problem is that the goal of the story constantly fluctuated. And so there wasn't like a set thing to do from the beginning. We just knew things needed to get done. So it felt like the story was taking us left, then right, then left, then right. And it was okay, I guess. This was fine because, you've built up the stakes, but it just kind of to me. The military base that they have was kind of rushed, I would say. But beyond that, like, it was a story, I guess. It was let me put it this way. It's so much better than what came before. Like, at least there was something a little bit much more to understand, even though we're still in the dark of the overall plot. But it's becoming a little bit clearer. But the plot points, how we got to A to B, are a little messy, how everything kind of goes. So beyond that, though, this is definitely much better than what came before. It's just that it needs to do a little better. If just set one goal and just stay on track. That's the most important. Stay on track on that goal. So yeah. So I definitely say it's better, but still lost me in a few places. So that's why. Pushing Daisy. It's a rating of Book 3. Daisy's Gambit. Very, very good. Like, this one by far is the best one. Like, the action was fun, the adventure was great, we got a little bit more information about, the aliens and robots, the AI, and how it all kind of coming together. Finally. Took 2 books to get here, but you know what? At least we finally got here. This was just a fun adventure. I really love the stakes in this one, and it was so much better than the first 2. Like I said, it took 2 books to get this good, but thank you. Finally, we got to a point where I can sit here and say I'm enjoying my story. This story is really fun. It's energetic. It's just overall a really good one. So, with that being said, I think I don't have much to say other than I really enjoyed it. So, let's go rate this thing. 4. Daisy's Gambit. I give it a rating of... Check it out. Book 4. Chasing Daisy. So you know what I forgot to mention in this whole review? Sarah ended up being in Daisy's mind, kind of like this second subconscious kind of thing throughout the first 3 books. So we deal with time travel. Daisy, during the third one, the second one, it was building up to it. Third one, she was kind of there. This AI she was building, it was a lot of fun. But now we got to a point where this AI, just intelligence, got so intelligent, I guess, and ended up creating time travel. And we kind of found out how everything kind of worked from the beginning. And this is where they revive Sarah. So there is 2 Sarahs now. And that's kind of my only issue with this, is that there's a Sarah that lives in Daisy's mind, and there is a Sarah that lives. And so it kind of sucks that when you bring back a character and someone who we're already used to being dead, and then, well, they're not really dead, they're just a subconscious, I guess. And then, yeah, it's so weird having them both around. It's kind of confusing, and especially time travel too. It's always hard to get that right, especially if you're dealing with that, but it kind of worked out, and there was plans here and there, and it does kind of work in its favor in points here, because it explains on how Daisy was able to speak some of these alien languages, or at least understand them, and then be able to be as smart as she actually was, because this Daisy traveled in time to mess with all the stuff she had going on back in the day. So it was a crazy thing, and yeah, and it was okay. Like I said, it just kind of felt like bringing back characters shouldn't have, but whatever. Time travel is always a finicky thing to play with when it comes to fiction, but it's alright. Alright, time travel, AI was fun, Sarah's are confusing, but that's about it. So, without further ado, let's get a review. 4. Chasing Daisy. I give it a rating of... Book 5. Daisy's War. So everything's been leading up to here. We finally knew who the big bad of the whole series was. I think it was in the third book we were getting there. That these aliens that's on our planet currently, they were slaves themselves doing another slave or another powerful creatures. And they were cool, you know. I like them a lot. I like the twist when people do that, you know. This twist of this is not the big bad, these are the big bad. I did like that, and especially when it comes to aliens, you don't see that too often. Sometimes you already know it from face value. You're like, oh yeah, these guys are already the bad guys. But no, these creatures were actually very creative, and I do like that a lot. And then this one ended up being a big war against the big bads of the whole series, the ones behind the shadows. And I did like that. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of strategy kind of going into it, trying to figure out, okay, how do we get these guys? And it was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy that because it was just a nice fight to the finish, really. There is some points where it does feel a little dragged and maybe should go a little bit faster, or maybe some plot points where some characters just probably didn't need to be there. For example, there's a character named Arlo. He's a time traveler kid, and he was so blatantly obvious for a future kid for the main character, but yeah, I sat there like, well, he felt very unnecessary. We kind of already knew, like, it was kind of obvious. Like, I thought it was obvious, at least, because the way he was described as, and his mannerism, like, yeah, this guy has to be, there's no way. It's not like he wasn't even hiding it either, like, seriously. Overall, though, it was a lot of fun, and I did like kind of the time travel and shenanigans they were playing around with. It was fun, and I love how just the end, how it all just worked out. It was fun. So, yes, I gotta say, this book ended up closing down a lot of these plot points, even though it wasn't 100% clear most of the time. I can still sit here and say, you know what, I had fun though. This was a fun way to go out. So, with that being said, Daisy's War gets a rating of, check it out. Overall, the Clockwork Chimera series is complicated. It has things that can make it wow factor and some fun things to be in there, but it also tries to overcomplicate things as if it is this extreme adventure that you need to understand you need to have some intelligence to understand. And though I don't think it does that to a degree, telling you have to be smart, but it feels like it wants to be that smart book that everyone loves. And I get it, but I think just having a fun story should be the first thing. The first book can turn off a lot of people away, go yeah, this seems pretty boring and not up my alley, which was kind of what I said at the beginning, but I was like, no, I like seeing what authors have to offer in the end. And that's why I went through the book, because I like seeing the whole vision of what the author envisioned. And I'm glad I did. This wasn't a bad experience, but it wasn't the most great experience. I mean, my favorite sci-fi book series is still Renegade Star. I love that story. I love how cheesy and over the top it is, but it works because it's fun and it's all about just the adventure. This one is trying to build that serious narrative about the war and building up humanity and all that stuff, and that could be fun too. But it tries to do this all complicated things and just makes it a little less fun. But when it does just having fun, I could definitely say I do enjoy the Clockwork Chimera series. It's just that it wants to be serious enough, but still have that fun factor to it. So overall, this story isn't bad, and this whole plot isn't bad. I really did enjoy it. So time travel, always confusing to have, but when it does work, it works, and I really did enjoy the story. So I guess, yeah, there's not much to explain, so let's give this whole series a rating. For the Clockwork Chimera series, it gets a rating of, check it out. Hi, I want to thank you guys all for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want more videos like these, I have it to my left over here. It will pop up eventually. Also, did you know I too am an author? That's right, if you want a paranormal adventure, I have that down below. All the books I've read over here would be linked down below. So, if you're interested, just check out the links. And also, I hope you all have a great day.